I feel we're giving you your full name.
That's fine.
I'll just call you 8. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good.
You good?
Yeah, good.
Thank you for joining us. We're we're just gonna have a bit of a chat about your Southend career. So what you've been up to since. I know you're into a bit of coaching now as well, and you still are playing. But yeah, the primary focus is obviously your Southend career, where you spent a long time at the club, like from a kid.
Yeah.
All the way up to the first team, and you left in 21.
Yeah, 21.
And
yeah.
I think most of us can obviously appreciate that the time you spent in the first team, it wasn't a great time for the club, was it? So
No.
Should we start? Look, rather than go right in at the sort of deep end, like we'll go back to the beginning, like when you're. Yeah, how old are you when you first?
Well, grassroots wise, right at the start. I'll start right at the beginning. Was Rady Boys.
Okay.
I'm a Rady boy anyway, born and bred, so it's fine. Rady Boys, centre half since I was a kid.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, my dad was centre half, so I followed in his footsteps as well. Weren't very good, weren't very mobile, weren't as quick as any of the rest of the boys. Just one game, I keep wanting, was ill, I think, or he might have been on holiday. I jumped in, and I did alright. I enjoyed it, just rolling around in the mud. I enjoyed it, yeah, and Dad was like, God, you're not too bad, to be fair, you want to give it a go? I said, yeah, give it the best shot I did. Sort of escalated to go on Friday nights with Reece Otley, Terry Mason.
Mm-hmm.
Was quite prestigious at that point. Quite a few of us come through there as well. That was over at where did we do that? Play football. Did play football at Southend next to Hospital.
Yeah.
And then really started to go in secondary school. Really, if it's my mark, the Cowleys were my PE teachers.
Oh, were they?
Yeah. So back in the day, which was.
See, me and Scott were Swain boys. We're rivals.
Rivals, yeah. No, I can't talk to you two. Yeah, it's fine. And then just sort of escalated from there. Really, 15 when I got picked up from Southend. I was always in the sort of centre of excellence shadow squad sort of phase as well, with Danny Heath, Michael March. Did a few tours and stuff with them, and then obviously just a bit of luck really. A couple of keepers got injured. I ended up playing and ended up getting signed. So that's basically what ended up happening really.
Well, obviously you were sort of very young back then. Not that you're old now.
Yeah.
But were you sort of aware? Because obviously there was a lot of goalkeepers coming through. Were you sort of aware of that even at that
Definitely.
sort of age?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was lucky and probably fortunate enough to work with all of them really, from Dan Bentley onwards really. So I was 15, 16, still at school. In the summer when we had 6 weeks off, I used to go and train.
Okay. Yeah.
So I used to go and just be basically cannon fodder in goal with the goalies, just getting smash balls at
Pelters.
which was fun. Obviously, I was in League One at the time with like Simon Cox and things like that, in sort of the heyday as such. So I was very fortunate. Obviously, Dan Bentley, Ted Smith, and Nathan Bishop were all there at the same time. Nathan Bishop's still one of my close friends. Still go on holiday with him and things like that as well. So it's nice to still have that connection with him.
Yeah. There's that sort of purple patch, wasn't it, including yourself, the sort of them younger goalkeepers.
Quite, and you say all those names there to have come through all one after another, like yourself included as well. That's a very impressive sort of conveyor belt, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was quite a weird sort of scenario, really. We was all quite. Well, as I said, I was at England at that point as well. So was Nathan as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, he played a handful of League One games as well, League Two. Obviously, Dan Bentley. Obviously, shows now he's flying.
Yeah.
But I said, I feel sorry for Ted as well. I said, like, the scenario was injuries and stuff like that, which is part of football now. But he was a fantastic goalie alongside with Bence as well, sort of ability wise. I said, with them two, you ain't gonna get anyone better than them two. I said Ted was a bit of a freak, really, left-footed, natural goalie. So it's unfortunate, it just didn't really pan out really for him.
Yeah, what was the sort of with him aside?
I said the injury with his shoulder and things like that. He had a bad shoulder,
Right.
and I said that took time for rehab and things like that. And I said, like, just football really.
Yeah.
It's not, I can't really put your finger on it. It just happens. It's sort of regular thing now. Really, you see from a lot of people who maybe drop out of football sort of earlier. I mean, he played League One, League Two games as well. So, but
he said he was with England as well, wasn't he?
With England as well. Yeah, it was all three of us really. Obviously, Bence ended up going through and kicking on, but it was all sort of England youth as well. So,
Yeah, it's impressive. Do you know Lewis Gard?
Yeah.
I'm sure it was him when he done his ACL, and then he come back. However long it took him to rehab that, and he come back. He played a handful of games and then done the other one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it was him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I remember I was at that game when he done it the second time. I just remember seeing him just like he weren't even in pain. He just sat there and just put his head in his hands, and it was just like. Probably in tears or something like because it was just that realization of I've done it again. But I've done the other one, and you were saying there that sort of the injuries being part of it. It can just ruin you, can't it?
Oh, definitely. I mean, some fans and stuff probably don't really see that side of the game really, and maybe don't take into consideration enough that it is brutal when you're out for that long, especially Gardy as well.
Especially a young player as well.
Yeah,
I can't imagine it's ever easy.
Yeah.
But especially as a youngster.
Yes, it's tough.
Yeah.
Because it's your aspirations, and it's actually you're close to getting into that
100%.
professional first team.
And he was at that time. He
was,
really was. He was banging on the door properly.
So
wasn't
Ted was as well. Obviously,
Ben
ended up leaving, and then Ted was coming through with Nathan. So he got the shoulder injury, which was a nasty one to be fair. But then, in hindsight, that give Nathan his chance to then obviously kick on and play. Then Ox come in after that as well. I said when Ox come in as well, which was a breath of fresh air really for himself. I still speak to him now. He's obviously at Harrogate now.
Still at Harrogate,
Still at Harrogate.
But I said he was brilliant for me. I said Nathan would probably tell you the same thing as well if he was here. That he was the one who helped me through some tough times, real tough times. I said goalie coaches wise as well, couldn't ask for any more. Really.
Yeah.
So we had some top coaches.
But that's a sort of weird thing to say. They say about the goalkeepers union, don't they, across all that. Is that evident? Do you feel sort of close where you sort of train every day with them? You're sort of closer with them rather than
100%. Yeah, 100%. And that's why obviously with Ben as well, with the coaching now within Bradford's Academy that I'm running now, we are a family. We've got 170 goalies, but we are a family together. With other academies as well across Essex and South East as well. We're here to help. It's a very lonely position as well because we are on our own.
Yeah.
So if we make a mistake or half a mistake, it's going to lead to a chance or a goal. They said that cliche of being a family and things like that is still
it's quite an unforgiving position, isn't it?
Definitely.
It is.
As I say to all the parents as well now, like you won't understand it unless you're either a parent of a child or someone who's been playing. You won't understand goalkeeping. It's a tough sort of thing to get your head around, really.
Yeah, so I only ever played at Sunday League level, but I've always sort of said that if for whatever reason I was to have like kicked on at that age, I might be a bit different now because I'm an adult now and I know how to react to things differently. But when I was a kid, even like as an early teenager, I don't think I was strong enough mentally to be a keeper and to have like even gone and played like semi-pro, even something like Essex Senior League level. I don't think I'd have been strong enough mentally, because I can vividly remember thinking playing in goal and just like a mud patch on a Sunday morning playing the likes of probably like Rayleigh Boys or something.
Yeah.
And I would always think I was sort of confident enough that I was a decent like shot stopper in that, but I would always think I can't make a mistake here. It would always be that there'd be like a 1% in the back of my head that would always go, you can't make a mistake because it'll be a goal.
Yeah.
But any other position on the pitch, I can't imagine you get that feeling.
Definitely not. But as I said, you've got to play with no fear. Goalkeeping in terms of whatever level you play at Rayleigh Boys or in the Premier League, it doesn't matter. You have to play with no fear. As I said, like with Edison and things like that now at Pep, with the style of play which they implemented, was obviously doing Donnarumma now anyway, but they play with no fear. He plays out from the back, regardless of the situation. Obviously, they changed it slightly now.
So confident, though.
Yeah, they said that you have to. It's a confidence thing. They said some people take it the wrong way. They said like arrogance and being cocky,
or casual, or
too casual, so it goes the wrong way. But they said you've got to be calm, especially in goal, especially playing out from the back. It's brutal. They said everyone's looking at you, and if you make a mistake, he said.
Do you know Colin? You were there.
Colin, yeah.
Because Colin, I like Colin, but I think he is sort of he's a very good like footballing goalkeeper. But he will often get a little bit of criticism that he can come across a bit like lackadaisical with it. But I think he's just chill.
I think that's.
I think he's just calm with it because
you can't take that away from him.
No, because I think you'd equally moan if he looked nervous.
Yeah.
but he looks quite chill with it. Nothing
yeah.
seems to faze him.
I think some of the criticism is probably unfair.
Yeah, I agree.
Because, as I said, for going at such a young age as well, in a club like Southend, which is a big, established club with a big fan base, is one, daunting, and two, he's got big shoes to fill as well with the keepers that have gone past as well. And he's done superb, really.
Well, and I think he's one game away from 100. Is it 100 games?
Yeah, he was meant to be the other week.
Yeah, I don't know if he got a knock or
But
something.
He's aged to get 100
to
games.
have played
he's
played
good.
99 games at his age. Yeah,
It's
that's
good
a massive achievement. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for obviously being at the club and like playing in various different guises, like, were you able to sort of be a supporter of the club, or were you a Southend fan, or were you just sort of all like driven to play?
No, I was always a Southend fan.
Yeah.
I said my dad was at Southend as well, as centre half when Bobby Moore was playing. My nan lived around the corner, so my dad's mum lived around the corner as well, near the Victory. So I used to stay around my nan's, walk around with my boots, walk around the same as my dad did. Walked with him. I said when I was a kid, I used to walk around, get fish and chips with my dad before games when I was young. Well, obviously not when I was playing. When I was younger, watching games.
You can say it now. It's fine.
Yeah, so it was fine. Yeah. And then obviously used to walk around with my dad.
Yeah.
I said playing for Southend was my goal and my dream anyway. And obviously I've done that. I did that, and sort of no one can take that away from me really.
No, not at all.
But I said it's Southend was ingrained in me since I was a young kid. I said growing up in Raylan and also playing around Southend and that, it's any boy's dream really. Who's grew up around here is to play for Southend.
Yeah.
It's the biggest club around here.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think me and Scott would both have to agree. When we were similar age, I think.
We always did, didn't we? Football training in our Southend kits and all that.
Yeah,
Me
me and Scott would be the only two kids over the park in a Southend shirt. Everyone else would be in like West Ham, Arsenal, Man United. Like we were the only two kids in Southend shirts.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's
But to get through and play, as I said, it's only that one position to. It's a lot of.
Yeah,
it's a bigger thing rather than say if you're a midfielder or a defender, you got.
Because you can adapt a little bit. Like if you are an outfield player, you can kind of go. Oh, all right, yeah, I guess I could play on the wing. You can slot me in somewhere. Like
I can't play right back.
Yes, yeah,
I probably could give it a go, but I wouldn't be very good. But
just not centre half.
No, not centre half. No, not quick.
But it's like you mentioned that sort of that catchphrase almost of like the GK Union.
Mm.
Is there almost like a bit of an unwritten rule, no matter what club you're at, that between the keepers and even the goalie coach, look, we don't pick the team. No. It's not. So there's never any animosity between the keepers. Like managers picking the team, we just got to turn up and do our job.
100%. So we had some out there managers when I was there as well.
That's one way of putting it. We'll get to that.
Yeah, get to that point. I said there's some managers there which were had their own views and own opinions about it. I said we had a good group. I said Lee Harrison was there as my goalie coach. Obviously when I was a kid. Terry Mason was there sort of when I was first starting, and obviously then left to go towards Arsenal and things like that and become bigger things.
He's done really well, Terry.
I mean, as a goalie coach, I mean, you probably won't get one better, to be honest, around here. And obviously now he's assistant coach with Arsenal's first team. He's absolutely flying. I mean, with Bence and Ted, where he's sort of prodigies as such. I mean, as Southend fans, you ain't going to get any better than them two.
No, not certainly not.
No,
like one immediately after the other.
We'll probably
as well.
get on to speaking about Bence, but
yeah,
he was superhuman. Like I've never seen anything in my life better than him. Some of the sessions I could go through. I could talk for hours about sessions and what Terry did. But yeah, I mean, he was a freak, definitely. Yeah.
I can always remember with him. Can't remember what year it would have been. But he was, when he was in that, like, similar to you, like when it was like 16, 17-year-old, like you do the warm-ups, like home games and that, you might travel to the more local away games just to gain that experience. And it's all still part of your development and building you up.
Yeah.
He's sort of done that for a year, maybe a bit longer. And then I just remember a pre-season where you've had like however long, 2-3 months off, and you come back and it was like, oh, he's a bloke now.
Yeah.
And it's like you've been in the gym all summer, haven't you?
He was a machine.
Yeah, do you remember that, Scott? Yeah. There was just one summer we come back and it was he's a man now. He literally went from boy to man.
It's always weight room. Obviously they play weight room first game of the season and you see obviously some of the kids when they come through like wow. I mean, transformation from when I was 15, 16, it was frightening.
Yeah.
He was a big boy. And I said now he's flying. He's
Yeah.
absolutely flying. So fair play to him.
Yeah, no, he's done really well for himself, hasn't he? He's one of, I think it's a bit sort of never really spoken about really, that he is a former Southend player that's made it to the Premier League.
No, you never see that when they talk about him when he played like games for Wolves and that. They never really mention where he's come from. It's normally the club beforehand when it was Brentford before that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Bristol City.
Bristol City.
Yeah, he went to Brentford from us,
Bristol City,
and then Bristol City, and then Wolves. So massive clubs.
They said he played a lot of games when he was younger as well.
Yeah.
So they said he was quite fortunate with the situation that happened, where he played a lot of games, where some people obviously wasn't fortunate enough to play.
A lot of times like that though, you get that opportunity through like an injury or something, and sometimes it is just sink or swim.
Definitely.
And yeah, he really did grab it. He really did. So you had a few different and interesting first team experiences, and we've sort of said before we set this up, this ain't, don't want to make this any sort of slagging match. There was a lot going on at the club at that time, but we are obviously giving you the platform to tell your truth, to tell your side of it. So I can't think. Was it like a bit of an injury crisis where you sort of first got an opportunity?
Yeah, I mean,
how old were you when you made your first team debut?
I was 18.
Right.
I said my League One debut was against Gillingham.
Yeah.
I said that was.
Was that New Year's Day? Was it a New Year's Day?
No, I don't think so. I
Was it
can't remember
not?
off the top of my head. That was under Sol Campbell at the time.
Oh, it was that one.
I said that was a weird sort of patch at Southend where we had a lot of injuries. Obviously, the embargo was happening as well. Couldn't sign anyone. It's quite fortunate that we had quite a lot of my youth team who were there and still playing. Obviously now as well, like Matt Rush, John Benton, and things like that.
Yeah.
Who stepped in and played. But it was a really weird scenario where we're stepping forward and pretty much the youth team's playing versus Gillingham with Akinfenwa, John Akindo playing up front. I was thinking, I don't know what's happening here. I was so confused. But
it's weird though, because I suppose it's for you younger guys. This is something you've dreamed of.
Yeah.
So it's a positive for you.
Yeah.
But it was obviously
for
really
probably
difficult time
fans
for
like yourselves stepping forward and going to the game with your buck of pie and you turn up and there's the youth team playing was probably a bit of a weird scenario. But it's
to start with, it was. Then we come to obviously. Hold on, what's this doing? Sorry, the mic keeps trying to pick up my phone.
Did that before, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't know why it does that. Sorry, mate. Go on.
That's right. But no, it's with that sort of point of Southend with the club at the time with the embargo and that was tough. It was tough. I said I was a fan, so and I was living it. So it was tough, but I said all of us give everything we had, everything. They said our youth team was good, and they said there was good coaches there, good people. And they said we did give it the best shot we had. Obviously, with the relegation and stuff, was at the time. I think I always say it now. It's probably right place, wrong timing for myself. With sort of different managers, different scenarios, and that. So when I was there, I went from Phil Brown first stint when I was a kid, all the way to Phil Brown and obviously Kev Mayo at the end. So I had all the managers in between.
You saw all of it.
I've seen all of it firsthand, how it was panned out and how people sort of perceived about.
Do you think that sort of hampered you as a pro goalkeeper? Because they had so many different managers and their opinions and whatever.
There's a lot of different opinions, isn't it?
Yeah, I look back at it,
sort of
yeah,
time.
and I said, I don't regret anything that happened or did. If anything, I look back at it and just knew that I gave everything I had at the time. I said, I'm still wanting to get back to that point as best I possibly can. I said, my goal since leaving Southend is to always get back into the league as best I possibly could. If that happens, then so be it. If it happens, give it the best shot. But different managers have different views. completely different views. I can leave it at that. Yeah, it was.
Obviously, when they've not played as a goalkeeper either, that must be sort of. Do they sort of understand the position?
They do, but obviously having Lee Harrison with me through that time, obviously Reece Otley as well towards the end.
Was Lee there the whole time? Or
Pretty much right to the end.
Right.
And then he ended up leaving, and then Reece Otley ended up taking over as well. Who I've been with since I was a kid. So obviously now Arsenal as well. So he was flying. But that is why a goalkeeping coach is there.
Yeah.
They said they're your point of contact. If anything was wrong, or I don't know, you're letting a goal at the weekend, they would go through it on the laptop and we'll sort of analyse the whole game of what we need to do and improve. But so the manager will have their point, and they said it's sometimes managers get emotional, and if you've made a mistake, like we always make mistakes, goalkeepers, it's part of being a goalie, unfortunately, and you get hammered. And
it's got to be quite thick skin then, or does it sort of come naturally?
Yeah, definitely.
I even imagine when I used to play at Sunday League, you used to hear like murmurs of the parents and that. For goalkeeper, you get sort of not used to the criticism, but you would from a very, very early age more than you would do as an outfield player.
I mean, you say it's a lonely position.
With the abuse and things, especially non-league as well.
Yeah, literally,
you hear everything.
And they're drinking as well behind the goal and stuff, and you get used to it. You do get used to it at the end of the day. They try and put you off, which is.
Do you sort of join in with it sometimes? Because I know some the Wilson goalkeeper.
But do you find that helps a little bit? If you get a keeper that gives a little bit back, they might. They kind of go, he's all right.
Yeah, not so much giving it back. It's more like having a laugh with them, having a joke.
Yeah, and that's what if you turn around and you like react to it in a negative way, well, they know it's getting in your head then, so they'll do it even more. But if you if you can kind of make it seem that he's not going to be bothered by that, like we'll leave him alone.
Yeah, nice.
It's a bit reverse psychology, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it. It's brilliant. It's hilarious. Yeah, but so like even the Southend and things like that, when there's 7,500, you can't hear any of them. That's irrelevant. It's just a hum, basically. You can't.
Which is probably a good thing.
Yeah, it is a good thing. It is a good thing. But when you're playing in front of 400 people and they're standing next to your goal, it's even worse. Especially as a goalie, it's probably harder going down than it is probably going up in terms of one, ability, and two, with the scenario with obviously fans behind the goal and things like that. So,
Did you find when you were saying like that when practically the whole youth team is playing in these first team games? Did you almost find that a bit easier in terms of like you knew everyone and that there wasn't as much of like a bedding in process because you were like all in it together, or would you have preferred to have kind of been drip fed into it a little bit?
Yes and no.
Because at the start there was, I think, the more senior players, like I think it was that January, wasn't it? There was basically a fire sale, like and anyone we could get any sort of money for left. And then it was literally the youth team are playing.
It was strange. Obviously, me and John White are very close friends as well. Still to this day, he was my roommate for the.
He's very good with younger players, John. Right?
Very good, very good. I think
with Ted Smith when he was quite.
Yeah, I think he's very underrated for. He's obviously a friend of mine, but very underrated person in terms of the setup now. He's obviously worked with the college scheme and stuff like that as well. But when he was at Southend, he helped the youth. Most of them really. He was one of the people which you would point of contact and said you should go to any problems or anything, he would help any young kid who's going through. Another warrior as well. I mean, Mr. Southend, wasn't he? Really, at the end of the day. So took the team when he back.
Played with his.
He
played with a broken arm.
Yeah, he's absolute warrior. So I said
good captain.
Yeah, good captain. Good captain. Yeah, I said even when I was in League One and things like that with like Michael Kitely and Ferdinand and all them, which was, I mean, I was only young. I was only 16.
Was that sort of surreal? That in a way, so there was Simon Cox,
Mark Fortuné. Obviously, I was doing the shooting and things like that.
He was a great player, wasn't he? Fortuné. I really liked him.
Mark Fortuné. He was a really, really nice bloke as well.
We got a lot more out of him than we was expecting. I think
because a lot of the other older sort of 37 plus players we brought in previously.
Yeah.
Apart from Sean Gutt, never really worked out.
No. Fortuné was good.
Even like Michael Timlin and things like that. I mean, he was another warrior. Even on 5-0s and that, you wouldn't want him in his team. He's absolutely hammy up. But another person who's brilliant, amazing with the sort of the youth as well, with the kids coming through, especially like obviously midfielders and things like that. he helped him massively, like John Benton and stuff, especially
Because even during the game, he used to, when he walked off for half time, he was always, younger players were always talking.
100%.
Yeah, he was always talking, wasn't he?
I said that it would have been a lot worse if they didn't have them people like
sort of
that,
characters
like
there.
Tim and things like that. Especially, it was tough. I mean, probably one of the better times I had was with Chris Powell. I've always said it to anyone.
Gosh, you literally, I'm forgetting half of these managers. You literally.
Yeah, Chris Powell. I mean, I remember it vividly. We went to Valencia on pre-season tour, and that was my first ever tour with sort of the team and things like that. Big Turner was at the back. I sat next to him on the airplane as well, which was funny. Nice bloke. But he said like that team at that time was so good, and it was an actual team as well. Obviously, Mark Oxley was in goal with Bishop as well. Lee was the goalie coach, and obviously I was the young pup coming through. Had a few loans and stuff like that, which was good. Injuries killed it, absolutely killed him. I felt so sorry for him when he got sacked because I think he had 8 senior players who all had like I think 4 or 5 of them had ACL injuries. Jason Debutant and all that was gone for the season.
Yeah, Ben Coker, Tom
Coker.
Hopper, like everyone's done their ACL.
It was brutal, absolutely brutal, and they said we didn't have the finances to probably go and get other people in. Obviously got sacked. I mean, the backroom stuff. You had Damien Matthews and Kevin King. I mean, Kevin King's now at West Ham, and he's flying. Obviously, Lee as well is doing really well.
It's always the one I think. Like because like Chris Powell's an absolute Southend legend, it was the one that everyone wanted.
Always tinged with a bit of
sad.
It was.
I think it's a cliche. He's the one who got away. I think that's the one thing which was tough to take. I think everyone took it tough as well. They said it weren't him. It was just a situation of what happened.
What's that like as players and yourself as a youngster probably like might be a bit differently for you because you've not like sort of been playing like week in week out, but what is that like when like a popular manager gets the sack?
It's tough. I said I was only young, but it was tough. I said different managers coming in, different styles of play, different people as well, different scenarios.
Was he sort of good with you, Chris?
Brilliant.
Yeah,
brilliant. So he didn't have to take me to.
I think he's been another one. He's always been good with youngsters. He's worked in youth football.
Put the arm around me and stuff like that, which is something which is a young sort of, especially young goalie as well, was the most important thing. He was the one who let me go out on loan as well to gain some more experience. I think I was quite unfortunate not to have a longer stint out on loan. Then I played a few games and got recalled and stuff like that, which was hard because I just wanted to get out on loan and play. Just when I was 16, 17, just go and play, which is completely changed now. It's gone the other way, where they just send youth players out on loan.
And what's to forget?
Just forget them.
Yeah. Look at clubs like Chelsea, for example, different end. They've got last year.
Got 100 players.
35 players out on loan.
But you've got 18-year-olds playing 50, 60 games in Conference South.
Yeah.
So, for their point of view, for their development as well, it's massive. Where I was sort of playing, not playing, not playing. It was really tough to sort of find my feet.
Where did you go? You had a stint at Dagenham, didn't you?
Yeah. So before that, my first loan was Cambridge City.
Okay.
I just turned 16, which was a massive eye opener to. I said that's proper non-league. Bad pitches, boggy. I remember my dad driving me up to Cambridge, and I played the game, done really, really well. Played a couple of games, then got recalled. Then went to Great Wakering.
What was the reason for you getting recalled? Was that we need you to be on the bench or be like?
It was sort of with the youth team stuff as well.
Right.
Sort of took precedence in terms of we wanted to win the league and FA Youth Cup and stuff like that, which is important. So I never really got the chance to keep pushing on loan. Did Great Wakering, and then I did Dagenham, which was probably the biggest one I did. I went on a youth loan, work experience. I wasn't really meant to play. I was just there just to sort of gain experience with Dagenham in the National League when we was in League 2. Elliot Justin, who was their keeper for a long-serving keeper, he got injured. Ended up playing 2 games, so ended up doing really, really well. But then got recalled again to try. You
kind of think like
bit of stop-start.
How old are you then?
I would have been 18.
So at 18, getting like a foot in the door at National League, like that's massive. We said it a minute ago. That's the sort of very similar age that Colin gets his opportunity at Southend, and then because of like various different situations, possibly the well documented embargo issues that we've had, probably helped him because he got his opportunity to stay in the team.
Definitely.
You've kind of had the opposite end where it's just sort of,
but
it's like a yo-yo, isn't it? You're out, you're back, you're out, you're back. Just
but that is football.
Yeah.
That is literally, you can't explain it enough. But that one is football and two is goalkeeping. It's so hard because they said was getting recalled and stuff, and said with training and things like that. So like obviously Mark Oxley might have been carrying an injury, then I'd have to go and train and things like that. So it was tough. They said now the loan system's changed a little bit where they're more inclined to send 18-year-olds out to the Conference South or rather than Prem, which I'm at now, and sort of gain experience and gain the experience which I needed, which I'm doing now instead of when I was 18. So it's one of them things, really.
Yeah, a little bit.
Sort of off the topic a little bit. You mentioned about Oxley. He's one that got a bit of stick. How was he? Obviously looking up to him on a day. Was he?
He was brilliant.
Like quality-wise, goalkeepers.
I can't believe that he gets stick for. As I said, he had 2-3 seasons where he was unbelievable, and said as a person as well in the dressing room and things like that, which people like fans didn't see.
Don't see that side
of him. He was brilliant. I mean, you could ask any player at that time, what was Mark Oxley like, and they would say exactly the same thing. He was brilliant. But said
I always thought it was right. I mean, I don't know, but people that sit near where
I think
if he dropped a couple of mistakes, and then they'd still just.
You look back at it now with the benefit of hindsight and go. You can now pinpoint the start of a very serious decline for the club and form. Of course, it declines with it. The mood at the club.
Turner, Cox, Forty. You realise how good we had it.
Yeah.
You realise then how far at the moment.
Yeah. I think towards the end, I think it was that final season, the one where we got relegated to the National League. I think, there was sort of more mistakes than usual, but there was mistakes all over the pitch.
But with him, it's hard because people didn't know off the pitch as well, like the embargo and stuff and things like that happen off the pitch, how it affects players.
Yeah, it has an effect.
And he said, I think some people sort of neglect that side of it. And he said, when you're watching the players on the pitch, obviously you're paying money to watch them and see them on the pitch, but they are humans as well. Like, they've got mortgages, they've got families.
I was just going to say this for the more senior players at that time, especially got the more responsibilities. If you're in a position where you don't know where your next payday is coming from, that's obviously going to get in your head.
It's going to play in your mind. Like, I'm not saying that was the case.
Yeah, but it's got to
pay a toll. Yeah, 100%. They said, especially when maybe he wasn't at his best. Maybe that might have played a toll on it. I said he only made really a handful of mistakes over a duration of the time he was there. I mean, to make a handful of mistakes of being, I can't even picture how long he was there, probably 4 years.
4 years, I think.
Yeah. 4 years, something like that. I mean, a handful of mistakes in 4 years. I mean, if you said that to any goalie, they'd take that. He was very consistent. Said the first
especially for towards the end of his time, a team that was struggling.
Yeah, really struggling. And I said when he first came in, he was unbelievable. Said
he got Player of the Year 1 year, didn't he?
He did.
I think he got it twice. I think he may have got it twice.
He may well have done. And he got because there was a time he got a new contract, didn't he? Because I think he got that Player of the Year, and he was out of contracts that summer. And I think a lot of people had probably resigned to the fact we're going to lose him. Like he's not going to re-sign. He's just won Player of the Year. Yeah. Probably just had the season of his career. He's going to go to the Championship.
Yeah.
But
people forget that he comes from Scotland as well. Yeah. So he comes from Hibernian. He comes from Hibernian, so he had pedigree there. I said, top bloke as well. I said he's a proper goalie, proper Northerner. So I said, he's a proper goalie. And I said he's a really good person as well. When I said I was only 16, 17, sort of going through and wanting to go out on loan and sort of help me try and do that and how to sort of play the game really, how to go through. I said another confident player. I said not many people. He's bulletproof, mentally, physically.
Very strong.
Very strong. Yeah. Very, very strong. And I said at that time was very, very tough. Yeah.
So after Chris Powell, who was it?
Phil Brown
I can't
come
even
back, didn't
think.
he?
Well, yeah, I've had a few.
Not
I mean,
off-
we had like
No,
Could-
Brown went in, wasn't it? Then it was it Molesley?
Mosley.
No, it was
No,
Kevin Bond.
wasn't it?
Yeah, I've had.
Was Kevin Bond directly after Chris Powell?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Was
came
he
for
really?
last. He came in for the last 7, didn't he? I think.
Yeah.
I've had a few. I mean, I've had Kevin Bond.
What was
Mark
he
Mosley. Kevin Bond was an interesting fella.
I really liked him. Yeah,
Oh, no, you did.
It's a very old school. It's the only way of sort of putting it, really. Nice
Do you
to
feel it because obviously the comment that always come with that one was he's Harry's assistant, like he's
I think got a
he's
bit of
always been an assistant. Did you sort of think?
I think he was
was-
more than that.
Was he a good manager?
Yeah, I think he was more than that. To be Harry Redknapp's assistant as well is no mean feat.
No.
You can't.
And pretty
be
much
just
every
someone.
club Harry went to, he
took him with him.
Yeah, it's
so-
like maybe it wasn't the right sort of timing and stuff. I mean, we were struggling big time with everything, even off the pitch as well. He come in at a bad time. It's a very old school the way he sort of conducted himself and sort of train and things like that.
Was Harry quite present at that point?
Come in a few times.
There's a
Yeah,
lot
come in
of-
a few times. Yeah. Obviously, I said I was still young. Wasn't really at that point sort of in the first team as such. But yeah, it's definitely different views.
Yeah.
I said then Mark Mosley come in as well,
Yeah.
which completely changed the whole style of. So obviously from Kevin Bond, who's sort of old school, to Mark
Very
Mosley,
new
who was
school.
very very new. Very very technical, tactical side of it.
I know it was a lower
Lots of
level, but he
meetings.
come in with quite a good reputation, didn't he? As sort
I
of
mean,
in the non-league game.
yeah, I mean, sort of reinvented the wheel, really. That's probably the way of putting it. I said he's goalie coach as well, Joe Pomodo. He's obviously his brother Tom was the assistant manager.
Yeah.
Joe's now at Portsmouth. Even with Joe, I can even show you now. He used to video all the goalie sessions, which was nuts. He used to have a GoPro, probably one of the first ones I've ever really seen, and he used to video it, clip it in the evening, and then send it to me in the evening as well. Which is like dedication to do that is crazy. I mean, like even editing something like this would take a while, but he used to do it, stay up all night, do it. So the dedication them three had was amazing. Obviously, the scenario didn't really work.
No.
Because I've just as a complete like outsider looking into that, I've always kind of viewed that one as similar to what you said like a few minutes ago, like just wrong time.
Yeah, it was hard
Because he did come in with a very decent reputation.
It was,
What
yeah,
had he'd gone back-to-back promotions with Weymouth, wasn't it? And then you come into this situation where you can't sign players.
No, that hindered him because he was very obviously non-league mindset and I reckon his signings would have been more hard-working non-league players. Obviously, Goodship coming, who was with him at Weymouth, unbelievable finisher, unbelievable. It just didn't
Just never
kickstart. It
clicked
really
in.
never
No.
sort
It
of.
just didn't work.
It just didn't
His
really
record
work.
before he came to us from Weymouth was
Brilliant. Yeah, brilliant. I said you probably won't get a better finisher, really, sort of non-league and sort of going through.
But you obviously train with him every day.
Unbelievable.
Complete
finisher.
different players to what you see on a
and it
match day.
just didn't really happen really. I can't really put a finger on it. And they said a few signings that he had, it was just tough. It was really tough. They said nationally sort of level as well. So to anyone now, all the levels have started going down. So like League 2 really is almost a national league now.
Yeah,
Conference
it's
South is all
getting
National League.
tougher, isn't it?
So he's getting a lot harder.
And do you find that also jumping a bit ahead before we come to it later? Do you find that now where you're playing now, the quality of players?
100%. They said I've had friends sort of goalkeeping the same age as me, played in the Conference South, who are now playing the Roman Premier in sort of my standard, and they say exactly the same. I said all the levels are pretty much the same until you get that jump from National League to League 2. I think that's the biggest jump where it is, and then obviously League 2 to League 1 and Championship, things like that. It's a big jump, but all the ones in between, so there's a lot of money in it. And there's a hell of a lot, like with mould and
mould,
stuff.
There
and
is
things like
now.
that.
There's a lot of money
lots
in
of money in
non-league
it.
football.
That's like even Freddie Sears played for West Ham. He's playing step 4, so it just shows you that.
Well, like Elliot Justin, wasn't he?
Elliot Justin's
He's,
more than he said.
he's been linked. He was linked to us for years.
I'm pretty sure at a point, if we hadn't have had those embargoes, I think we would have signed him at one point.
I mean, we would have signed a lot of players. We would have signed a hell of a lot of players, and I don't think we would have been in this situation we are now. I think Southend would have been a league club. I I said like with like people like Chris Powell and some of the managers, even Phil Brown for example, was brilliant, unbelievable. I'll probably touch base with it in a minute. But with him, the first stint I had with him, I said I was only young, but he was brilliant. I said I think he gets stick as well when obviously he comes back and stuff like that. But as a manager, you'd run through brick walls for him. I said everyone did. But again, it was tough for him when he come back. With the embargo, can't sign anyone.
Yeah, would he come back for them 5 games and it was the League Two season?
Yeah, I know it's always that, all the ifs, buts, and maybes. But I think if you give him a little bit longer, if he has 10 games there rather than 5, I don't think we get relegated. And
he's one person I'd love to get on.
I say that as someone that when I was a supporter, like you grow up and you change over the that was like over 10 years ago. He was manager first time round. I weren't a big fan of him, and I've made no sort of secret of that. But even without sort of having like rose tinted glasses on, even I could sort of see that when he came back, if you did give him a little bit longer, the primary objective there was keep this club in the Football League.
Yeah,
I think we'd have done it if you give him a little bit longer.
But I said he wanted it. He said he'd come back to try and help and try and do it. And even his first stint, the players that he brought in, like Ferdinand and Liam Ridgewell, Cox, all them were for Phil Brown. They were all his signings. So it just shows you the pedigree he had as a manager and as a person.
And he's hungry. It goes to show now he's still managing.
Still managing now.
Yeah, I said this a little while ago. He could sort of the financial side of it that will be at that level. He could have a very, very nice, cosy like media job now.
Definitely.
But that is pure love of the game, isn't it? What he's doing now.
Yeah, I said he was a warrior as well, and he brought in warriors to fight for the club, like Tim Lynn and the people I said like John White and things like that. They would fight for the club, and it just scenarios.
It just unravelled, didn't it? And sort of I don't know. I don't know if you could go back and like pinpoint one moment. I think that's the reason it did ultimately unravel so quickly, because there wasn't one moment. It was like an accumulation of several of these like
just capitulate.
Yeah, and I think if there is just like one or even two, you can get away with it. But when everything just unravelled all at once, like it's just never gonna.
No,
you're never gonna recover from that, and ultimately that's why we are where we are now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting to hear that, because a lot of fans back in his first spell weren't necessarily, they just thought he was here for sort of like a payday, or actually he was doing his media work then as well, wasn't he? He was doing a lot of bits and bobs.
Yeah, he was very Marmite. I think probably the best way to describe Phil Brown. He was a Marmite character. It was a long time ago. I used to do a little bit of like media stuff for the club, like a bit of you see some of like the behind the scenes stuff now, like the goal cam and the tunnel cam and that. I used to do little bits like that, and like he didn't know me. Eventually he came to know my name and whatever, but he would never walk past without acknowledging you. Like he'd never walk past you, even if it was just like a morning or whatever. So yeah, I think a lot of the stick that he gets and he has got over his career, in a roundabout way, he probably has brought on himself. But I think he's the sort of character that's got a thick enough skin, doesn't bother him. But he is very he's very out there, isn't he?
He's very out there, but it's
like he was managing in the National League wearing a cravat, wouldn't he? Like I don't.
He didn't care.
No, that's what I mean. He's got a thick enough skin. He don't care.
The thing with him is, which I think was good, especially being young, the attention was on him, not the players. So I think that helped. I said that's
so doing little things like that. It's kind of like reverse psychology. The team are struggling.
Yeah,
I've said this recently about the manager at Morecambe. I can never remember his name, but he's made the comment, hasn't he, of in 5 years' time we're going to be the best footballing team in the country.
Yeah.
Was it words of that effect? Which is obviously going to grab all the headlines, get all the laughing reactions on the Facebook post or whatever. But what he's doing there is completely deflecting or protecting rather his players, because they've just lost 4-0 or whatever it may be. but all the focus is on
his comments he's
in
made.
the air quotes, the stupid comments the manager's made.
Yeah.
He's protecting his players that, with obviously the situation that Morecambe have gone through, they've gone through a very similar situation to us.
Mm-hmm.
They completely missed a pre-season. They've thrown a squad together at the 11th hour.
Yeah.
They're still going through that pre-season, within the season, getting to know everyone, he's getting to know his best system and things like that. So by taking that attention away from the players, he probably doesn't mean that.
No.
Or in a pipe dream, he might mean that.
Yeah.
But he knows, I think it's quite smart psychology. He's taken all the attention away from the players. And if you want to laugh at me, laugh at me.
Yeah.
But I'm taking all the attention away from the team.
I think it's clever managing. I said he probably was Marmite Phil Brown, but them little things, them little mind games that he's obviously done, obviously when he did the whole with the celebration and things like that, but on that, but they're all mind games.
Yeah.
That's who he was, and that's people don't really understand that. But I said it worked. They said at the time we was doing really well. They said when I was a kid, the sort of even the scenario with the tape and things like that was brilliant. I mean, the sort of team morale and stuff. Used to batter me as a sort of young goalie coming through, and we had young kids coming through as well, which he was also brilliant with.
I was going to say, he was sort of...
Oh, he was brilliant. Oh my God, I couldn't... As I said, I did the...
He was a very big advocate with Elvis, wasn't he? He got Elvis involved a lot in the first team.
Yeah. Obviously Drew Ewart as well.
Yeah.
But so I used to play on the Saturday morning for the youth team, or under 16s at the time. My dad used to drive me to Roots Hall from Boots and Laces. I used to do the warm up. I always remember vividly. I used to obviously my kit was laid out, and if you go into the change room, there's a little clock right in front. When you go through the door, there's a little clock on the wall.
Yeah.
There's a little space. It's not even a space. It's like a little cube of a little space. And I used to sit there. I sat there for 3 years under Phil Brown. And I said I used to do like the warm ups and stuff. I used to stand in this tiny little corner. But I said that made me as a goalie, but two as a person. I said I was in and around.
It's just that exposure to it.
100%.
It's like you're never going to play at this point. You're not going to play.
No,
but
never going to play.
It's not about that.
No.
There's still so much development can be done just by being around it.
They said my debut, obviously, in League One and things like that. I felt more comfortable because I've been there. I said I've done obviously the warm ups and stuff, and even like sat on the bench and stuff like that. So
you're not a complete fish out of water. You've been around
I've been
it.
There. Yeah. So I was. Yeah.
Was you there for the? I've just remembered. I really started laughing now because I just remembered. Do you remember when you got Jeremy Carwin? Was you there for that?
No.
Did you miss that? Do you remember that though?
No,
there was a situation where apparently they're mates. Phil Brown and Jeremy Carwin are mates, and Jezza is in the director's box for a game, and the rumour has it he got him in the changing room to do some sort of half-time team talk.
I don't know.
You weren't there for that.
No,
that's annoying.
I'll give you a lie detector.
But I really want that to be true, that he did a half-time team talk.
I don't know.
Did he win in the end?
I can't remember.
But yeah, going back to, he didn't have to sort of talk to you, did he? He didn't have to. That's sort of really good sort of.
I think a manager that probably, myself included, at that time would be sort of quite critical that we just sign old players. There isn't much of a sort of impetus on like looking after some of the youth.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case at all.
No, definitely not. They said like he did have sort of aging players as such, but they were still top professionals, like Kitely and things like that.
Well, you don't play to that age if you're not. If you don't look after yourself away from football.
They were some top professionals who had played Premier League, Championship, countless games internationally and things like that. With injuries and things like that, didn't really work. It just was one of them things. And that's obviously where it started with the embargo and things like that. And it was tough to sign players and sell players and stuff.
It ultimately just comes down to, doesn't it? It's not. To be honest, you've got a lot of good things to say about all your managers in various different ways, the various different ways they worked. What ultimately cost us was the gross mismanagement above all that.
It was tough. I felt sorry for anyone who come in and said, not I feel sorry for myself, but it was hard when you didn't know what was happening, even like financially and money and stuff, even with people who worked at the club, who I've been there for years. I was there since I was a kid, I said, even leaving broke my heart. Try and leave and try and pursue something else. I said, people at that club have been there for years, even like to dinner ladies, to people who cleaned change rooms and stuff. We all obviously knew everyone. It was a tough time. It's a tough time for anyone who's at the club.
And they're always the first ones that get cut.
Exactly.
Like the tea lady or whoever else, and they're the one you come in and you go, oh, they're not there, and you think, oh shit.
We always had a relationship with all of them, every single one of them. I said, I've been brought up to sort of respect anyone who comes in. I said, even though we were being a professional, but we was in every day, even S&C, physios, everything, you name it.
Was it tough in the training ground, David, coming into it, or was it sort of? I guess it's pretty different for you, where you're sort of, you can see a sort of path to actually realise your dream to play. But obviously you've got the other guys with not.
It was hard. I love training. Absolutely, I still love it now. I still buzz off training, and I love throwing myself around in mud or anything like that. It doesn't really matter to me. It doesn't bother me.
You're not a fan of them 3G pitches then?
No, not really. I mean, I played.
Not as a goalie.
No, not as a goalie. No. But I said, even with training and stuff, managers have different styles. Some loved finishing, some loved small set of games. It was all different. It was all different. But I said the morale always stayed the same. It was always, we had a job to do. We had, if we did play or we ended up getting called up to play, so we did our best as best we could. Yeah. So especially that time with a lot of us from the youth team who played, was brilliant. It was brilliant for us as a personal note. But just didn't have the sort of firepower and stuff to get through. I mean, the people who did play are now still playing. Even Matt Rush is probably one of the better ones.
Richard Taylor's done really well.
Smashing it now. There's some of them, and we've spoken about it like throughout this season when we've done these. That all of you could have been crippled, like mentally, and never wanted to kick a ball ever again. But genuinely, I think most of you like.
We're all still playing.
You've kicked on, and you've got Isaac Hutchinson as well. He's done really well.
Yeah.
Where's Aaron Canali now? Is he still playing?
Aaron's still playing. Yeah, still played.
I really sort of.
Yeah, he was decent, wasn't he?
He went to Turkey for a little bit as well.
Right. Okay.
He's obviously Turkish.
Obviously,
You
got Terrell at Malden again.
Yeah.
He had a spell. Was he in Lithuania for a while, Terrell?
He was in Lithuania for a little bit. Yeah,
that was a random one.
Yeah, it was a bit random. Yeah.
But yeah, like that's, I know. You might look at it and go, "Oh, it's a lower level," but they're
playing.
But they're taking it very seriously. I know they had their FA Cup exploits as well.
Yeah.
So you look at there's some names there, and you just think, like, it was just far too early. Like clearly, like for all of you, I think we could have done it with drip feeding 2 or 3 sub appearances here and there, like bedding you in. Then you get some starts. Then you like. Just doing it properly, but
then you had 7 of us.
The situation we were in, I can't remember. I can't pinpoint the first game. I remember it. It was just like the sort of the real eye-opening sort of time was when the squad numbers were like all in the 40s. It's just like, oh, this is all the youth team.
Yeah, but I said all of them still playing. It is. We're all still either playing at a level where we can still do it in terms of maybe still getting paid to do it or things like that. Obviously got like Matt Rush, Charlie Kelman, John Benton.
Oh, Charlie, I forgot about him.
Charlie Kelman's all in the youth team as well. He's below me. He's at Charlton, flying. So we had a proper youth team, a good youth team going forward, which is probably fortunate that we did at the time. Because
what on earth would we have done if we didn't have a youth team?
Well, there would have been a youth team playing. They had to. Because that was all that was left.
All that left
was to play. Said Rich Taylor's flying.
I mean, obviously went off to Scotland, didn't he?
He went to Scotland, he's at Bolton now.
Is it Bolton now?
But he made a few mistakes and stuff, which
obviously I'll be honest, I wasn't a big. I mean, he looked real like a fish out of water.
There was that game against, was it Oxford?
Oxford, yeah.
Where we lost quite heavily. They were flying.
But then players like Canali and Mitchell Nelson, at the time they looked more composed.
Yeah, Elvis as well. Elvis was another one, kind of similar to what we said earlier about Colin, that through the embargo, sort of made some good of the embargo situation, because
we played over 100 games. Yeah,
I think before the age of 20, 21, he's played over 100 games in the league. There ain't many 20-year-olds are playing over 100 football league games.
Step to step, he just kept going, and his performances got better.
He started getting a few goals as well, didn't he?
Yeah, at the end, yeah. Even Drew Ewers was exactly the same. He obviously performances and stuff was at the start.
That was a frustrating one that we lost him. I think everyone kind of felt at the time if we could have kept him one more year, we'd obviously.
He looked a talent, didn't he?
He did. But then you kind of look at it and go, don't begrudge you the move at all.
Where did he go? Brentford, wasn't it?
Was it Brentford?
Yeah, then he went out to America.
He went out to America. He played in New York, and then he played for Nashville. Yeah. Yeah, now he's at Rotherham.
He's at Rotherham, but it said as an ability wise, everything. Everything. He said he's powerful.
Well, someone actually
strong,
go to the away games with, I won't name it, but he actually put money when he broke into 16, 17, that he thought he could play for England one day. I mean, that might have been far-fetched, but he got such good odds with the bookies.
Always, whenever someone says that, funny enough, it's another goalkeeper. I always remember a story of Chris Kirkland's dad doing that when he was like a teenager, put like 20 quid on his son playing for England one day, and he'd done it at like the age of like 33, and he got like mental odds on it, and he cashed it in like when like Chris Kirkland was pretty much ready for retiring, but he was like, he done it. I told you one day my son was going to play for England.
Drew was definitely one which was you could see that he had some talent and got through. So.
I think he was another one that certainly it was quite obvious that Chris Powell put an arm around him, and other youngsters. I think Lewis. I know I mentioned Lewis Gard earlier, but he got his first opportunity under Chrissy Powell.
They said he's at Ramsgate now, so he plays in the same division as me. So I see him.
Tom Clifford's
there as well.
Oh, is it?
Tom Clifford.
Yeah, two of them who are.
So, I mean, I think the positive is that everyone is still playing.
Yeah.
No one's really been so destroyed by it that I know there's various different levels of football there that you've just mentioned, but everyone's still playing.
Yeah.
Everyone's still kicking that bag of air around on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, definitely are. 100%.
One man we've not mentioned so far is Kev, obviously with us at the moment.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, when you're in the youth teams, did you and Kev cross paths in the youth team?
Yeah, the 23. So he was
Right.
23
manager.
I said I always say it. If he used to join in training when he was in the 23s, if he was on your team, you'd know you'd win. He was the best player by a country mile. He was the best player in the 23s. Like, it was nuts. He probably still joins in now. Probably training. He's probably better than him.
I think there are certain people now on social media. I'm not going to say names. I have a tendency to do this.
Scott gets himself in a few arguments on social media.
After a few beers after the game, I'll start nibbling to things like that. There's a few comments out there that Kev has got no interest in the youth team.
Right.
Which I don't believe for a second, bearing in mind that he was obviously he's been at the club for so long as a player, was a captain of the club, so you have to probably keep an eye on being around the youth team.
What you were saying earlier about John, like having an over.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't think there was as much of a youth team back then, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Under 23s coach as well, and there's players he's given game time too, so it'd be interesting to sort of hear that.
I disagree with the statement of they don't believe in the youth.
I think the main reason that comment has come up was
Jack Stone.
It was the situation with Jack Stone where he left the club. He's now come back, but I think there was a lot of people, for some reason, quite angry. Like, it wasn't just a bit like, oh, that's a bit of a shame. Yeah. There was some anger
out of nowhere. Bearing in mind, he probably don't even watch the youth. Obviously, it's picked up a bit this year because of the cup run.
I think it's harsh because obviously people may not understand, but there is not a youth team. It's a sort of almost a college program at the moment. So they are training.
They're playing a college standard football.
Yeah, so it's not like what when I was going through and like you're saying, the Drew Ewards and the Elvis and stuff. When we was playing in the youth team, games program that was probably maybe a little bit better. It's hard for him to maybe have someone who's playing at the college to play in the first team at Southend. Like, it's a huge jump to play from one to the other. I said not only for him, but maybe for the actual kid itself to try and have that jump. But no, I disagree with probably people saying that he won't.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it for a second. Like, there's been about a few, but obviously, as Scott said, it's around that whole.
But he's also a brilliant manager. I said with the three of them together. Obviously, I know I was at the end of sort of my time at Southend and that,
But you played his first official game, didn't you?
Yeah, so
The Dagenham game.
yeah. So that was a tough game, to say the least.
Well, we looked at the lineup before you came in.
Was it FA Cup or FA Trophy or something?
It was trophy, I think.
Trophy,
yeah. So,
again, you had a couple of picked up Reece Murphy, Go, and a few players like that around it. But obviously, had yourself, Rob Howard, Charlie Sayers, and it had a lot of. I can imagine against obviously a senior Dagenham side, it was
tough. Yeah, but that's football,
isn't it?
Yeah, it's football. It said with Kev coming in, he's been brilliant for Southend and the club. Actually, itself getting to the playoff final.
But you say about the whole embargo not signing, doesn't this sort of what you said highlight
how good he actually has? 100%.
He's had two seasons, give or take, about a window. So that recruitment he got in that January before the embargo hit in, stood us instead in 2 years.
Well, there's a lot of those players that are still in the team now.
The Sins and people like that.
Yeah, Cav Miley.
But I think obviously getting to the playoff final last year, obviously Southend fans will want to do that again and think that it could happen. But with the situation, I think you've got to understand how it actually has panned out. That it's done so well, one, to get to a playoff final with the players maybe that he wanted to bring in or he couldn't bring in or anything like that. I said they're not obviously doing it as great as this year. They're still sort of in and around it, things like that. But
I think fans after that would go like it should be neck and
neck. They keep going and get, they should easily win the league now and go through. But
what I put on the other day, wasn't it, Scott, compared 16 games this time compared to 16 games.
Yeah,
we are so fast. We're actually superior compared to this time last year.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, statistically, we are better off after the same number of games last year.
It's a run of form. You could get 10, 15 games of going on a run of form. You could be near the bottom and push yourself all the way back to the top. So, maybe it's not even players. It's just a run of form. Might have some games where you might be at home quite a lot as well. Obviously, a Rootsall as well. It's a fortress, really, for people to come to. It's quite a hostile place. Especially in the way dressing rooms and that, it's quite small, quite tight. So it's quite hard to go to Rootsall. So that's why it's always been.
No, it's one of the things I wanted to ask you is about this whole thing about Kev with the youth vision. I think it was highlighted this summer was the first time there wasn't a trialist or a youth player. I think people have jumped on that and obviously following the Jack Stone. But you said on one, didn't you? So when Jack Stone went to White Ensign.
Yeah.
Playing men's football.
Yeah, so even that's a jump up in terms of the youth team system and the college system attached to it.
Was it 1 in 8 you got?
He
Or
done
1 in 6 or something?
Yeah. I didn't obviously see any of the games. I'm only looking at pure statistics, but it's like you got to sort of see there's a jump. There's quite clearly a jump. And the last thing you want to happen is a situation that happened 4 or 5 years ago. A player gets put into the first team, like for like positions. Someone like Emil Aqua comes into the team probably far too early because he's a young kid still learning. Obviously, doesn't particularly hit the ground running. You now get all the flack from the supporters because you've not scored 3 in 3. You just demoralise somebody before they've even started.
No.
And I think you've got to learn from previous mistakes.
Yeah.
Like that, we got ourselves into a situation before where we had no choice but to play the youth team. We've got to safeguard it a bit differently now and look after them and make sure those same things don't happen again.
What was the sort of social media like when you were playing? Obviously, now everyone's on it. I mean, it's a lot more.
If I'm honest, I come off of it, and that's me being completely honest with it. It's the flack I got was quite bad towards the end, which didn't help.
What,
from fans? Some fans and stuff like that. Which is, I was only young, and the cliche is that you don't watch and look at social media and things like that, but you do. Scroll through the comments.
We all do it. We all say to ourselves, I'm going to have a bit of a detox from social media, and that we still have a little look.
Yeah, still have a look, and I didn't perform, and that's also me being honest with myself. I wasn't good enough. Some of the games that I played, especially the Dagenham game, made a couple of mistakes, but I was rusty. I didn't have that run of form games under my belt where I could sort of hit the ground running.
That's quite sad to have something like a homegrown talent coming through and playing to still get that. That's what we were saying.
You're also a fan as well. You've just said
I loved it. Like whatever happened, I was going to give everything I had, everything I got. I'd leave it out there.
Yeah.
And I sort of half understand the flack that I did get, and it's one of them things. I said supporters want the best for the club and things like that. And if it didn't perform, it's a cutthroat business as well. So it's one of them things.
We've sort of sadly been speaking about this quite a lot again recently, with this kind of perception and almost a little bit of entitlement that certain supporters have got, that they feel that they've bought a ticket, then they're entitled to just sort of say anything they want to say, and just because you're a footballer, that makes you fair game. It's
I think it's got to be
but
repercussions.
But it has an effect, doesn't it?
Definitely. It said we're all humans. We are going to read them. I don't think.
And if not personally, you get obviously partners, friends,
family.
Yeah, you might get that, but you yourself might have come off social media, but your mate or your missus might not have done, and she ends up showing you or whatever.
Yeah, I said, even my dad, even if he's on social media and stuff, and I'm getting flack from fans or from other people, it's not right. I'd said I'll give everything for the club or things like that, or is any club or anything to do with it.
There was a time last year, with a player we mentioned before, Macaulay Bond, we had. His wife put a picture up of them on holiday, and on her personal account, there was Southend's commenting, slagging him off. It's just like Kev's come off social media, isn't he? Off Twitter. Yeah. But his wife's still on there, and no, she comments. I
don't blame any of you for coming off Twitter. I think it's shit.
No, I mean,
we use it for the platform, but I don't use it personally.
I don't use.
It's hard though. They've got families.
Yeah.
It's just if it was the other way around, imagine Kev battering the people who were battering him, saying I don't know, saying you're a crap decorator or something, or just battering them. It wouldn't work, would it?
No.
You'd be like, well,
for me, it's the only industry and the only walk of life where it just seems to be you could
just do what you want.
Football is a fair game.
Yeah, it's
mental.
Yeah, we're humans. We're gonna make mistakes. Like I said, maybe Kev as a manager or any manager, they will make mistakes in terms of personnel or tactics and stuff, which is right.
But I think you always sort of get that. You go, I would have played so and so. I would have played this. I would have done that formation. That's just pub talk. That happens up and down the country. That's I ain't got a problem with that. But it's.
But they're even like Kev now. They're football mad. They will analyse every game before. Obviously, they go into the next game. They will analyse the other team, make sure they see what their weaknesses are, their strengths are. They'll pick a team accordingly to that. It's not like they just go out willy-nilly and just go, do you know what, you pick yourselves. It's not the case.
There's a method to it. We've worked on this during the week. Yeah. There's a method to it.
But I think some people just think they just pick a team and then they just go out there and just do what they want. Yeah. But it's not.
It's becoming more and more apparent this season, I think. I don't know whether because they said about the Wembley last year heightened.
I think it's heightened expectations a little bit.
Yeah, I said.
It's another thing as well. We've got that other player recently, we had Jack Wood, didn't we, at the club?
Yeah.
He's now obviously he's scored hat-tricks, but he's dropped down 3 or 4 tiers at the minute. But they were saying why can't they play him, or another one with George Wynn recently. Obviously, Kevin, the guys, they see him every day in training. Yeah. And you got to sort of trust the blokes.
It's kind of similar to the example you gave about Brandon Goodship. Looking at pure statistics, didn't have a very successful spell here. But you saw him every day in training, and you've said he's an exceptional finisher.
But then he's gone back down and scored goals.
Yeah.
So
do you just think it was just a little bit of a jump too far for him?
Or confidence thing?
Yeah, it might be a confidence thing. I don't think it was a jump too far.
But I think that the confidence side of it, I can't imagine anybody was particularly high.
Obviously, talking about George Wind as well. Windy was with me at Billericay. So when I was there, Billericay was there for the whole season with me. Especially went from Billericay to Southend. I mean, I said he's young, and he said to play and being around it. Said he worked a day job. A lot of people probably don't know that, but he worked an actual day job and played for Billericay part time like we do now. And he's gone into full time football. It's obviously another jump for him to go into full time football. So people don't really understand that either.
You get that a lot. There is so much. It's almost like positional bias with certain things, because we've had a few players like that have made the jump from national north and south. So most of those are part-time clubs. These players make a massive commitment to quit a day job, which is obviously comfortable. That's sort of a guaranteed wage at the end of the day. Yeah. To go into a very, very unpredictable environment of full-time professional football. Because a manager could get sacked like that, the next manager don't fancy you, now you're out of favour, now you've got to go back to part-time football.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but no, I ain't got the job to fall back on as well, so
Exactly.
I'm financially stuffed.
The other one recently, when it was a couple of seasons, it was Danny Waldron who signed.
Yeah,
Still based in the Midlands. He was still only training 2 days a week still with us, because he still had to work his notice at his other job. And they're wondering why he weren't scoring goals.
There's sort of... So we've got Leon at the minute, we've got Slavy that have sort of come up from that. They've both come from Slough.
Mm-hmm.
Similar to George Wins, that same sort of level.
Yeah.
Part-time, I don't know what they were doing for day jobs or whatever, but they've come from part-time football. But there seems to be more of an acceptance that they're not going to start every week because they're still like getting up to speed with a full-time schedule. We've got to nurture them a bit differently, make sure they don't get injured, because it is a much more demanding schedule. But they're attacking players. There seems to be a bit more of an acceptance and a softer approach to attacking players, where you take a player like George Wynn, for example, just because he's not come in as a direct carbon copy of Gus, there's a bit of, but don't really rate him.
Odd though, like, so it's like, do you think George Wynn would play over Gus Scott Morris, who knows the top goal scorer? Which makes, if you say that out loud, it's like, that makes no sense. Do you know what I mean? So,
I think
like that,
Kev should give him minutes, but you're not going to. If
It's the same. Yeah. So you're saying that you think
should play.
George Wins is this example should be getting more minutes, but if he drops Gus, you're going to be fuming.
Yeah. So obviously now he's gone on loan to Hornchurch to get the minutes, which then obviously that's another jump up into the Conference South, where he was a bit rookie in the Roman Prem. So he is climbing up the ladder slowly but surely, keep going up. Maybe next year he might get his opportunity in the National League, but at least there's a pathway for him. So, for example, like what you're saying about Kev, he knows what to do. So he sent him out alone to get the minutes, which he couldn't get at Southend.
I think that we have said as well that it's a loan that is... It's like a development loan. It's not someone that we want to like bomb
off.
It's
not negative. No, it's a positive.
It's someone that we still very much want as a part of our plans.
100%.
And it's a development thing.
Anyone goes out on loan to a team like even like Hornchurch or Flying are at the top. Like that's a positive.
It was their first defeat last night.
And they lost to Chelmsford, didn't they?
Yeah. And they said that is a competitive league. So Chelmsford now full time. So when I'm saying about the leagues going sort of down the standard and that, full-time football in Conference South.
Yeah.
Like, if you think about that,
there's no other country like it, is there? Like,
even in the times that South End have been
the sixth tier of football, you've got full-time teams.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like even since we've been in the National League, the bottom probably 6 to 10 team when we first come down, we're all part-time. I think this season there's only one or two that maybe not even that.
It's going to be Brackley or Truro, isn't it?
Because Wilstone have made the jump now. I think.
Altrincham have made the switch now.
But like you said, Chelmsford have invested. They're now full in that division. So it's only going to get stronger.
It's getting more and more competitive. Isn't it?
Yeah. Even the Roman Prem and things like that. Like,
better players are dropping the levels. You've got Lyle Taylor playing for Chelmsford.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
I've seen his goal last night as well, which is rude.
Yeah. The touch and the finish.
The touch is incredible.
And I said Roman Prem, even Lee Blow, Malden and things like that. Like, there's no way they can't go full time as well. Sort of next year, if they do get promoted and go forward. So, I said these teams are powerful, and the people who run them and have them are also powerhouses to get through. So, yeah, football is nuts at the minute.
Yeah. So, I guess ultimately your time at Southend, it was tough, clearly. Has it hampered your sort of ability to like be a fan of the club? Did you see a bit too much of like the negative side of it?
Maybe, I think.
Yeah.
It's tough to say, really, to be honest with you. It's,
did you go to Wembley?
No.
Was that just
personal
preference?
I don't know. It's a weird one, really, because it should never have got to that point where we got back-to-back relegations, and should never have got to that point. It should have been stopped early stages, where it's like the Chris Pounds come in and things like that. You had a top manager with top people around him, and how that spiralled from that point to where we are now is bonkers. It's even when you're saying about Phil Brown, pedigree he had. if you look back at it at the time,
His
Premier
contact
League
book,
players.
yeah.
Do you think a lot of it was for so much of that time and the various different managers? I know we kind of got there in the end and we started to fix it, but it was too little too late by that point.
Yeah.
Do you think a lot of it come from a lack of a chief exec? A lot of the decisions that were being made above the manager were solely being made by Ron. No middleman saying, no, don't do that.
I don't know.
No.
I couldn't put a finger on it, honestly. Like,
because it did just... Well, we now often joke about it, but I also think mentally it can't have helped it being in the COVID era where there's no supporters in the ground.
COVID was a really bizarre time as well. I said we was playing with no fans in the stadium. It's like playing at training. It's
crazy.
weird.
There's such a mental concept that happened.
Yeah. Financially as well, like you ain't got 7,000.
You've got no
fans,
gate receipts or nothing. You've got
so-
absolutely nothing. Even little things like your merch sales are probably down because you can't even sell a program or things like that.
Food or drinks or anything. You can't do anything. So,
but in the time that the time between supporters being able to go to games, I remember the last game before the lockdown. We played Bristol Rovers and we won.
Yeah.
And ironically, Kev was the Bristol Rovers manager.
Yeah.
In that time period, we've gone from League One to the National League. In between fans being able to
blink
go.
of an eye, really. Isn't
In what 18 months?
Yeah.
Because that season got curtailed, didn't it? Didn't actually finish.
But I said I saw all of it. I saw all that span.
Yeah. So what the hell was that COVID era like?
Strange. I mean, as a personal note, it was brutal. Before that, I played obviously in my League One debut when Mark Ossey got injured, and then the plan was obviously we was already relegated at the time. We was mathematically gone, so I was going to play the last 7 games just before COVID obviously hit. So on the Friday, they ended up bringing Patrick Goodison in an emergency loan on the Friday.
Yeah.
So then he ended up playing the last 3 games before COVID. So I never ended up playing.
And the rest of the games don't happen.
Rest of the games didn't happen. So I never ended up
it?
playing.
That's where sucker punch.
How do you, when that
Brutal.
loan happens?
Brutal. Yeah.
Who was manager then?
Sol Campbell.
Sol.
Yeah. Brutal.
Did he sort of
Yeah. What
tell you?
No.
He sort of didn't.
what was he like? Because you hear a lot. You hear a lot about Sol. What was he like?
Yeah.
Is it all true?
Yeah. Yeah. I'd say on here, he's a different person, different. I said, world class centre half. I mean, you cannot.
Oh
take
yeah.
that away from
Take
him.
nothing away from him
Unbelievable-
as a player.
Unbelievable player. Maybe as a manager, there's a little bit different views to other people. I said, as a man manager, was tough to speak to him and things like that, which didn't help. With likes of Phil Brown, Chris Powell,
The sort of
Mark
door was
Mosley,
open. There was
you
sort
could
of,
you could speak
go.
to him. Even like Phil Brown at the time, I wanted to go on loan. He went, not a problem. He sat me down, had a coffee with him, and he said the options and stuff to go on loan. Obviously, with injuries and stuff, I never ended up going. But you could actually speak to him.
Yeah.
With Sol Campbell, you couldn't.
He'd give you the time
you
of
couldn't
day.
speak to him. Yeah, you couldn't. And I said that loan absolutely shut me to pieces. From that point, I really think that affected me.
Was there just a bit of self-doubt and things? Or...
I'm not even self-doubt. I just went, I'm working my absolute nuts off to try and get something and try and perform the best I can. I can't even play. I can't even step foot on the pitch for you to help you out.
And he's
do
brought
it.
another loanee in.
Yeah, and that's it. It kept happening as well. I don't know if it was probably at the time, but Marcos kept getting injured and stuff, and getting
Got a few
niggles.
loanees in, didn't we?
And then I kept
can't remember
playing,
all of
and
them.
then stopped, and then never really given him opportunity to sort of kick on.
I can't think who else come in.
Alex Bass come in for a little bit as well.
Did he play one game? Broke his leg.
His
didn't he?
leg, and I come on at half time.
That's right.
Against Salford was one of the games. I come on at half time, but did quite well. Made a couple of saves in the second half. Again, then they end up going back and then getting another one in.
Who's the other one? I can see him. I can picture Montgomery.
Yeah,
Was he another one that come in?
Nick Montgomery.
That was a also a sucker
James
punch
Montgomery,
as well.
so, yeah.
I remember it vividly. Cheltenham away, on the coach on the way up there. Thought I was playing. Got to the hotel, was having pre-match, and he was there. Turned up.
He just met you at the hotel.
Met us at the hotel. That was it. Maid was in the eggs. I just thought.
At that point, you might as well walk up to me and just kick me in the nuts.
I run my dad. I was like, I don't know what to say. I don't even know what to do anymore.
Mm.
But so I
So
tried.
is that Mark Mosley era?
Yeah, that's Mark Mosley in that. Yeah, which look, hindsight, it is what it is. It's probably a tough conversation for him to have with me. Obviously.
What did he say to you?
Nothing.
Or did he?
He sort of 5 minutes before we got there, he said that you're not playing tonight. We've got another goalies waiting at the hotel. He's going to play.
Fucking hell.
I was like,
cheers, mate.
but they said it kept. For
happening.
me,
It's
kept
not.
happening.
It's not
It wasn't
a
regular
one-time thing.
yeah.
You could probably.
So like the League One stuff. Look, I was only 18. I could sort of get that. It was obviously a big jump for me to do it and play. Was obviously relegated at the time, so even if I was bad or had some bad run of form, it wouldn't matter.
No,
but you not almost look at that and think, and I make no disrespect to any of the other keepers that come in. They're equally just coming in to do a job as well. You speak about the whole like the GK Union thing, but is it not like probably an additional sucker punch when you think he's pretty much the same age as me? Like, so what if it was a massively like experienced keeper coming? I remember the time we signed David Stockdale on an emergency loan.
Yeah.
I get that because that's quite.
He was brilliant.
That's that's like a like for like with Mark Oxley. You can see the direct replacement there.
Well, and Walton as well.
Yeah, he's
Walton,
had a great career, hasn't he?
And he's now kicked on as well. So,
but when you're a kid, and then
you bring in somebody else's,
then you bring in someone else's kid. That's like a double whammy, isn't it?
Oh, honestly, the Cheltenham game was. Look, football is tough sport anyway. But when that happened, I think that was probably the start of what made me sort of think, I can't do this. I said like, I had 8 years at Southend. I ended up cancelling my contract in January because I couldn't.
That was your decision.
Yeah, that was my decision. I went into Kev and said like, I can't do this. I couldn't even step foot in the.
And how was he when you said there was these?
It's one of them things. He's a footballer. He played, and he said like the scenarios. It wasn't his scenario, but obviously previous in that, which obviously he couldn't affect. But yeah, the Cheltenham one was the one where I thought,
this is it. No,
this is it. Like I can't. It kept happening. It's one of them. I had such bad luck with it. And so I would have played probably 10 games, maybe in the National League for Southend at the time, which could have back into the season. I could have just kept playing and hopefully took that form into the year after. Maybe next year my contract and keep building it and that. Like obviously like Colin has. But yeah, just told me 2 minutes before we got to the hotel and was like, yeah, another keeper's coming in.
But you think now, if you're a young lad like you were right from the start, you support the club as well.
Yeah.
On that coach up there to Cheltenham, all that excitement.
Yeah.
Then to walk through into the
So I
pre-match
was with John, my roommate. I was at the time, the captain as well. I was sitting there, he's like buzzing for me as well. Like he was like a father figure really to me. Probably would be saying now, but he was like, yeah, you did really well. Ricky Holmes was there at the time as well. He helped me through it, and then just there, just went. I didn't speak to anyone on the way back. So Cheltenham's miles away as well.
Complete gut punch.
God, I don't know what to do. Alan McCormack was there as well. He's now doing stuff with Luton and stuff like that. And he was on the bench at the time, Ricky Holmes. I just sat there and went, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I was in disbelief. Absolute disbelief.
What's that like during the game? So when you're on the bench for the game, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, heads away
beer.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't do it. I couldn't. Yeah. Absolute, it's sucker punch is probably the one way of putting it. Yeah,
that's shit.
So is that for your own mental? You made that decision to sort of go into care?
Yeah, so I had a few sort of trials and stuff. Obviously, I was still at the age where I could play 21s football and stuff like that. So I ended up going to Swansea on trial for a few weeks. Nothing sort of panned out. There were a few goalies there already. Couldn't shift. Then went to Derby.
Derby, wasn't it?
So went to Derby, done really well. I was there for about 6 months. Again, probably bad timing, wrong place, right place, wrong timing again. Mike Asher was going in and sort
another
of
club that's gone through it.
Another club which was financially just in disarray, really.
Was that when Isaac was there?
Isaac was there. Yeah, and he ended up leaving to go Cheltenham, I believe it was. So yeah, just wrong timing again. They wanted to sign me, but they couldn't do anything. They couldn't offer me anything.
You starting to just think, is it just cursed?
Yeah,
at
this
this point?
Like even like the family going, I don't know what to say. I honestly, like, I've gone to 2 different clubs. I went to Swansea, drove all the way down there, stayed in the hotel on my own. Obviously, like worked my nuts off to try and get contracts. They said we've got 4 other goalies here. We can't do anything for you. I've just been here for 3 weeks or 2 weeks. I said,
Tell me that.
Yeah,
tell me that after a week.
Tell me that after a couple of days or something. Obviously, Derby situation was there for 6 months.
Yeah.
Weren't obviously getting paid or anything like that. So.
But that was an embargo situation. They wanted to sign you, but couldn't. Would that have been for their 23s?
23s or something like that. Yeah, I would have sort of been in and around it maybe. They might not have signed me. I don't know. They might, might have done something or helped me get somewhere else. But yeah, it was. They said everywhere I went was
really sort of
brutal. Yeah. Absolutely brutal. And so full-time football was tough, really tough.
Did you feel like giving up at that point?
Yeah. I said it before.
You're still so young at that point as well. Like what, you're 21?
I was 21, yeah.
That's like for any pro football, especially a keeper, that's still so young.
Yeah.
To just be getting like knock after knock after knock.
I felt bad.
You must start at some point. You got to start thinking, is it me?
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. I considered, even like you say about Southend going to Wembley and things like that. Like you could see why my head was like, it's not even the people who are associated with now, like Kevin and stuff like that. It wasn't them. It's people higher up and things like that where it absolutely killed me. And scenarios, what happened like that, I just couldn't do it. Couldn't step foot in the sort of building, even Bruce Hall now. It's
tainted a bit.
Yeah, like I couldn't.
Have you not been back since, Tom?
Been a few times, sort of with the college stuff and that, helping out and things like that. I still love the club. I still, if I had the opportunity to go back and play, I would do it. If that happens, it happens. But yeah, it's one of them things. And the scenarios like that happens. Yeah, it was. As I said, it wasn't one time. It was 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, there's several
multiple loans where I should have really stayed and just like the Wakerins, the Cambridge City and stuff.
Getting called back.
Should have just went. Do you know what, Harry? Just go for 50 games.
Especially the Dagenham one as well. Like that's at the time, that's a good level for a keeper your age to be playing at.
Yeah.
And you've come back and done nothing, like just to be third man again. Do the warm up.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I just got stuck in sort of rock and a hard place really.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was contracted as well. I couldn't do anything and. I was stuck basically. It's hard reality of it. Obviously now I'm still wanting to play and still do it, but I'm now sort of leaning towards now the coaching route and sort of help mentoring some of the kids who are in similar scenarios as myself. As I said, now with our academy, we have a lot of academy keepers who go through. We've got Palace, Millwall, Man City. We've got loads of going through our academy who have similar scenarios to what I'm at now. When I was playing and doing it, so it does help.
I think if it is obviously something that you want to like continue doing, I think you've got a hell of a lot of first-hand experience of it, and
definitely, yeah.
You're in a pretty good position to sort of offer advice if anyone is like at any of these clubs that do go through similar like financial struggles. So there's probably going to be an embargo coming, so you can be that arm around the shoulder and. Yeah. This is what's going to happen next.
It's different avenues, like obviously like agency stuff and things like that. Maybe in the long run could be a thing, which I'd love to do. I said obviously with Ben Bradford's Academy now, we're working close with all keepers that we've got. I said first hand. I said I've done everything. I've done grassroots.
For a 24-year-old, for what you've seen.
Yeah.
You've seen more people.
Yeah.
Probably seen your whole career.
You've had a 20-year career.
Yeah, literally.
In 3 years.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but a lot of it was down. If I'm honest, a lot of it was down. I got to a real big high when I was with England and things like that, which was nuts. It was crazy. Honestly, I was at school and things like that, year 7, and then I was away for 3 weeks in France playing in Toulon tournament. It was like Saka was my left back. It's like I was at school with my mates and then going to tours and stuff like that. It was crazy. But Southend never really sort of took notice of that. Really, it was almost like just well done, Harry. Like pat the back and that was it. Really.
That's a massive thing, though, isn't it?
Huge.
That Toulon tournament is very well.
Yeah, I got keeper of the tournament.
Did you?
Yeah, I got goalkeeper of the tournament. Yeah, I got a trophy at home. Still at home. Yeah. Which was amazing for not only me but my mum and dad obviously come out to France as well to come watch me. I mean my debut was France in France, so you ain't gonna get it better
massive,
than that.
Isn't it?
Yeah, but I went from a massive high, and I should have really come back and went out on loan and gone and got that first team experience which I needed,
And carried on that high.
And just carried on that high,
yeah.
but just stagnated. I just didn't play. And yeah, it was so hard. Like, can't really put my finger on it how I could have done anything different or anything like that. But yeah, it's all in the past now. But as I said, I'm now going ahead and sort of playing and getting that experience again. But so keepers don't really start until sort of 29, 30 when they're sort of their prime and such. So obviously I'm 24, so I've still got a bit of time to reach to a point where...
Is the ultimate aim to be back as a pro goalkeeper?
I would love to, yeah. As I said, my goal was always to get back into the league when I left Southend, so either go back or try and get somewhere like that to go full time. It's a tough old business.
Cray Wanderers.
Cray Wanderers at the minute, yeah. Doing really well. So, as I said, I've had Bittericky as well. Before that, Margate as well. I've had a couple of sort of spells at Hornchurch and Hemel and things like that as well. So, sort of non-league career and things like that. I played nearly 150 games, sort of playing non-league football.
There's still a lot of games for the age of 24.
Yeah,
there's still a lot of football.
I broke the record at Bittericky with 54 games I played in a row.
Yeah, I saw this. Yeah, you played including cup games. Played every game.
Minute of every game. Yeah, so it's for that to happen as well. I said it's not the division I wanted to play in, but I said the first 5 games I was atrocious, terrible, because I've never had that men's experience of 5 games in a row.
Almost sort of become doesn't actually matter what level I'm playing at, I just need to play.
Need to play.
You've gone out and played 50 games.
Yeah, I need to play and then play again and then play again and then season after season keep playing. I said I'm probably not the best goalie, but I said I go out there and give it my all every game I've got. So yeah, hopefully try and find sort of a home where I can stay. Obviously Cray have been brilliant with me this year as well. So hopefully maybe stay for a few years there and just keep going really.
Just keep going from that, yeah.
What's your so obviously that ties in quite nicely with your like your coaching stuff that you're doing now. Is that train twice a week or?
Yeah, so train in the evenings, Tuesday and Thursdays, and obviously Saturdays. Obviously coaching at the minute as well with Ben. So we've got nearly just over 160 goalies now across the week, which is crazy to think about it. So we deal with.
Is that what you do? Is you sort of full time
as well? We have Ben, so yeah. Me and Ben run that full time. I said Ben's obviously worked with West Ham as well, with his coaching and played at West Ham as well in Southend. So he's been there first hand as well as what I have. So we work together and try and create an environment where it's a Cat 1 environment, which the academy should have and what it should be. As I said, now we've got coaches we've got 2 A licensed coaches, Lee Harrison, who's come in, who was obviously my goalie coach at the Southend, and Harry Beaver as well, who's also an A licensed coach, who I've coached with for years. So them sort of people should be around the kids now who, we're living it. I said we've done it, me and Ben, including the coaches we've got. So we've got 15 coaches who are all qualified and coaches in terms of badges and that, and things like that. So it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
No, it's sort of it keeps you sort of in and around it. It's I think there's a lot. I know you still obviously want to play and you want to play at like the highest level you can, but I think there's a lot that you can do for like young goalkeepers and kind of be that almost like a bit of a psychology coach as well.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, there's different avenues which we can go down and stuff, and I've looked into a few things. Obviously, I'm doing my badges this year as well to do my B licence and A licence stuff. I looked into doing that to go down the coaching route as well. Agency and the psychology side of it maybe could be a possibility as well. And I said we work closely with quite a few glove brands as well to try and sort of help with the kids and help with people who can't afford gloves for the season and stuff like that. So things like that's massively important as well. Clubs don't help with boots and gloves and stuff like that anymore. Some families don't have the money to pay for boots and gloves and stuff. So if we could help in any way,
you could have a very talented kid that it's not their fault
because they've got the
100%. I've seen it firsthand with people who can't got boots all ripped with holes in it because they can't afford any boots. So it's brutal, but that is life, unfortunately.
Yeah,
with people like that.
Yeah. Now we've just got a few questions. Some have been sent in. Some have sort of been selected by us. We'll try and go through them pretty quickly.
Cool.
Best player you've trained with? Like, I'm assuming what that means is who's like the best in training but wasn't always on it on a match day.
I'd say anyone who's probably stand out in terms of was good in training and not good in games are probably good at both. Simon Cott's probably one of them, finishing wise and things like that. So a lot of finishing, a lot of drills and stuff. Probably be him, to be fair. One of the best ones.
Okay. Who's got the hardest shot that you've ever faced?
Hardest shot? Ooh, there's a few. Harry Lennon was one.
Really?
Yeah, he's a big boy. He could strike a
He's a
ball.
well-built lad.
Yeah,
Isn't
there's a few, to be fair, come to mind, but yeah, he's probably one of them.
Okay. Go on, Scott. You've got the
funniest teammate.
Funniest teammate? Reece Murphy. Definitely. God. Yeah, I've got some stories of him. Yeah. He's brilliant. Yeah, he's brilliant. He's probably the funniest one.
Your best memory in the Southend shirt?
Yeah, there might not be many.
League One debut, to be
Your
fair.
debut.
Yeah. So my family come to that. They said, like, my dad was Southend supporter and things like that, so to step foot on the pitch with my name on my back, and then we couldn't get any better than that, really.
What is the worst away dressing room? I think that's apart from ours, I'm guessing.
Worst
away dressing room.
Yeah, why do you away?
Yeah.
Cool. There is some bad ones. There's some bad ones. We had some bad ones in COVID as well because we had to go into sort of
they're all
bars and
different,
stuff,
weren't they?
Yeah, so
That was such a mental time, wasn't it, COVID?
yeah.
You had to get
I
changed.
was real. Trying to explain that to someone.
I know.
in a couple of years' time,
But you're still going to go out and like quite literally rub shoulders with them out on the pitch, but you can't dare get changed
No,
in the same end of the stadium.
It's like you couldn't have a pint, wasn't it, unless you had some food.
I mean,
Unless we're sitting down.
yeah. I mean, honestly, I think Roots Hall is probably one of the worst ones. Obviously, I'm not being
It's
the away
up
change
there,
room, but he's up there. It's probably one of the worst.
The away
worst
change
ones,
room. I'm assuming at this point it's deliberately bad
Yeah.
to try and be like a bit of
100%.
an advantage. Yeah.
I mean, you would do the same.
Yeah, you got to do it. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Scott.
Come on, Scott, keep up.
Who's the biggest character in goalkeeping that you've met?
Character in goalkeeping. There is a few, definitely. Some characters. Probably Mark Oxley would be one of them.
Mark Oxley,
probably
yeah.
Oxley, I'd say, would be one of the characters, I'd say.
You spent quite a long time with him.
I had
Didn't
a
you?
long time with him. Very, very close with him. So he helped me out a lot. A nuts bloke. Yeah, lunatic. Good guy.
You wouldn't think that looking at him, would
No,
you?
he
Something
did
like-
often come across quite placid, but was that a bit of an act?
No, he's quite calm and collected, but sometimes he can lose it. And
See, they're the ones that are like proper. Was that when he ran over and punched the Charlton?
Oh yeah, he could do. Yeah, done that. Yeah, but yeah, top bloke.
Just a complete head loss. That
Yeah,
one.
top bloke. Brilliant. Yeah.
Where are we?
Number 7.
One word to describe Roots Hall. I think that should have been one word to describe Boots and Laces. I'm going to do Boots and Laces actually.
Shambles.
Okay.
Those places, I'll do that. Roots Hall.
I'm guessing that over time you spend more time at the training ground, don't you?
I'll say more Boots and Laces
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah, we'll change that. We'll change it to
Change
Boots
it to
and
Boots and
Laces.
Laces.
Shambles.
Shambles. That place was nuts. Roof was leaking. Just
That's only water that was running, wasn't it?
yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's they had a
Water.
shower to stand underneath. It would
I
look
mean,
drip.
I think it was probably an old club. I think this. My dad
Yeah,
said
my mum and daddy
It
said
was.
that,
It was
weren't
like a
they?
function
Christmas
room,
party,
wasn't it?
It was like a
Yeah.
club and yeah, obviously the old manager's room, which is still there now, would have been still there now. It's called the War Room. It was called
It's
the
just
War Room.
turned to ash now.
Yes, yeah, it burned twice. But the War Room was a place we didn't really want to go into.
No.
What was in there? Can you quickly tell us sort of?
No, it was the manager's office,
Right.
but big one. But yeah, usually it's not a good thing if you've got.
If you're getting called in the manager's office.
That's not good.
If you could say one thing to Southend fans, what would it be?
I'll say believe. Believe in sort of what people are trying to do. I know there's obviously good people now on the board and the consortium and stuff going forward who are actual Southend fans who want the best of the club. And whether manager Kev or whoever it may be is, they said they want the best for the club, especially Kev. I mean, he played for the club, so I said you can't get anyone better than people who have played for the club and want to fight for the club. So that'd be my thing.
Okay, I've got final two. I think these are quite interesting ones. It's a bit of a two-parter. Which outfield player would you most trust to go in goal?
Trust to go in goal. Wow. That's a rogue one. That. Ooh. See, Jason Dweetcher went in goal. I remember that.
Yeah, he did.
I think he had Ox's kit on. It was like a dress.
Shit was drowning him.
It was terrible. He'd be probably the worst one to put in goal.
Well, that's the second part of the question.
So he'd be the worst one. Yeah, and he's brilliant to be fair, but he'd be one of the worst ones. I don't really know. Harry Leonard would probably be one athletic wise.
Well, you'd trust.
Yeah, I'd trust him.
You'd trust Harry Leonard.
He was big as well, big athletic. Probably the only one really.
The least likely would be.
The least likely to
JJ.
Who actually ended up going.
Yeah. All the people would be him, yeah.
Did Gus? Have I imagined that, or was Gus gone in goal?
Gus went in goal, yeah.
I think he did. Yeah. Also,
Bromley game, wasn't it?
An odd one to go in goal, isn't it? Like,
yeah, not the tallest.
Not the tallest, but
probably one of our strongest.
That I reckon that's definitely been a case. I'd do it for a laugh.
yeah, just do it. Yeah,
If
it's
it
quite
comes
fun,
up.
actually. Yeah.
I'd do it. Yeah, lost the bet. Yeah, cheers, mate.
No worries.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I think we've covered everything. Anything to add, Scott?
No, nothing at all. No.
Just
Thanks,
look, just on behalf of us both, mate. Just and Ollie, who's not here tonight, but yeah, wish you all the best with it. If you can climb that ladder again, like I think you sort of laid it all out there that you are someone that's going to work your absolute tail off to get there again. But we wish you all the best.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks for giving us your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Cheers, mate.